Wow. OBS is a son of a bitch. Alright, it crapped out on me, guys. Refresh. If you're there. Nope. I would like to go to my profile. Twitch, thank you very much. Hey, welcome back, James. We got a nice refresh going on here. Well, we did drop frames. We're fine again. But this I just lost service because it's too cold here. Like, what are we at right now? Is it 9 degrees? No. 8 degrees. What's the real feel? Yeah, the real feel is like -5. And the actual low tonight is going to be -5. Okay. So again, this is going to be part 2 because this really fucking sucks. All right. What are we doing? Windhelm. 153. I'm just going to carry on and hopefully it gets better. But we'll have to see. So for those coming back from the break, or this is now part 2 for you guys, it is like bitter cold where I'm at right now. We're having a hell of a winter. So now I'm going to have to splice this into another 2 uploads. All right. For our outskirts for Windhelm, interesting NPCs. We want the farmhouse chimneys, immersive citizens, Lux Via, Rin's Farms, Skyrim sewers, and the unofficial patch. Manually tick Stairs of Skyrim, the Windhelm Bridge. And then for consistency, we want the interesting NPCs Rin's Farm patch. Nothing for anything else. And you can install that bad boy and live like a king. Nightgate Inn revived. Patches and add-ons 1.6. That's going to be down here. Nice that this author has all their stuff on the same page. I like that. I don't like when they're on multiple pages. It's annoying. Alright. I have read this. We want the vanilla version. We want... Oh, it's a longer page than I thought. Ember's XD for other patches. We want ELFX. We want Immersive Citizens. Interesting NPCs, Keep It Clean, The Legacy of the Dragonborn, Lux Orbis, Unique Treasures, and Zelzaz Follower. Select nothing here and install. And I didn't change the damn name. Because it's on the same page, it's patches and add-ons. The nice thing is that you don't have to really do anything with this. You could just install it. There we go. And then the Rin Standing Stone Patch Collection 1.1. Main file. Download. Hey, look, I'm live again. Go fucking figure. This one's pretty easy. We want Amulets of... I'm actually just going to slow this down. Amulets of Skyrim. ETAC Darkwater Crossing. Legacy. Moon and Star. Unique Treasures and the unofficial patch. Nothing for optional and install. So Rin Standing Stones Legacy has 13 ITMs, so we just need to clean that. Not a big deal. Run it through your quick clean. It's going to be this one here. Ticket. I'm just making sure. 13 ITMs, yep. And then we've got the snazzy patch collection. That one's fun. There we go. 231 version. On to the next one. 231. That was quick. This also has SSC edit cleaning. This was an exhaustive one from what I remember. Dawnstar, nothing. Falkreath, nothing. Markarth, nothing. Misk, we want the Wayward Rest for Legacy. Morthal, wow, nothing on the rest of the main page. Okay. For Darkwater, we have none, and nothing. This one's actually pretty easy. SFCO for the Wayward Rest. And Grand Solitude, nothing. That's it. Okay, that's not too bad. I thought the snazzy patch collection was going to be a lot worse. It's literally just the Wayward Rest. Wow. Yeah, that's all it is. Okay. Looks like it's got some ITMs though. Oh, I'm sorry. Two UDRs. Same thing. Run it through your quick clean. Two undeleted references. How annoying. And the next one is So This Ain't Right by Missile Man. 1014. Patches by Missile. Wow. There's 1014 in old files. We've got nothing here on the first page. My patches for Khajiit's Tense is nothing. Select nothing for my tweaks. Simplicity of Settlement, Solitude Docks. You're going to tick none. Make sure that's unticked. Nothing for any of these. Oh, I guess this is just for Nightgate. Alright. Well, for more tweaks, there is nothing. There is nothing for Riverwood Falls. Map marker tweaks. Solitude Docks needs to be unticked. Lost Heritage is none. General patches. So there's a couple you need to untick. Comap, Khajiit Caravans. Both missives. Nightgate Inn revived. It looks like for Spaghetti's Nightgate needs the patch. And that's everything. So it's literally for this one. So we're installing this. Ticking it. And were there any other special instructions? No, this one's good. Okay. Great Town of Iverstead, version 3.3. Version 3.4. Version 3.3. These ones usually aren't too bad. Alright. None. No landscape fixes. Nothing for Lanterns 2. And then when you get to Misk patches, interesting NPCs, Atlas map markers, CSCO, ELFX, Embers XD, Farmhouse Chimneys, Immersive Citizens, Keep It Clean, Legacy of the Dragonborn, Unique Treasures, and Snazzy. Nothing for Populated. And that's it. Install. Call them patches, right? Crazy. Great Town of Shore Stone patch collection 241. Main file. Download. Alright, what do we got here? Interesting NPCs. We've got Atlas map markers, ELFX, Embers XD. Make sure it's on XD and HD because they're right next to each other. Obsidian Mountain Fogs needs to be ticked. RS Children, Snazzy Furniture, Unique Treasures, and Unofficial Patch. You can install that one. There we go. A couple more. Great City of Winterhold patch collection 2.10. Main file. This one also looks like it's got some SSC edit cleaning. And another I've read and understand message because I love these. Alright, city patches, none. Carriage and ferry travel overhaul. We want the fixes in Winterhold. Top option. We're going to select nothing for everything until you get to the end of the page. Because there's nothing else to select. And then for MISC, here we go. This is where you need to pay attention. Interesting NPCs. Amulets of Skyrim. Alice map markers needs to be unticked. Bad Gremlins. We have Cloaks of Skyrim. Complete Alchemy. We have Embers XD. ELFX needs to be unticked. Farmhouse Chimneys. Helgen Reborn. Immersive Citizens. Keep It Clean. Yep. Legacy of the Dragonborn, and then Missives. Moral Miscellanea. Item Distribution. Mystic Condenser is another one that needs to be unticked. We have Obscure's College, RS Children Overhaul, Skyrim Unique Treasures, Sky Test, 2022 Redux, not the first one. And then Snazzy. Be careful with these because they're kind of right in the order, and you can mess these up, and they all say Sky something or other. Except for this one. Snazzy and Thieves Guild requirements. That should be it. We can install this. And which one has the interesting NPCs patch? All right. So again, run your quick auto clean. I like to filter this. There we go. Run it. There's just one identical to master. Even still. You want them to be as clean as the guide tells you they need to be. And we're done with the random patch stuff. We're on to the owl patch collection. Oh, I don't know if you guys caught it. I said we may go to like 9, but of course, yeah, OBS decided to crap out on me. But what I may do is I may go back to some Tainted Grail because I haven't played it in like 9 days. Because I took a couple days off and then I started doing this for myself and for Lexy. But I obviously still have that installed. Funny side note on Tainted Grail, I bought the DLC. However, it's not in my library, and I don't know if it's showing in the game. And when I go to the store, it looks like I never purchased it, but I have a receipt in my email for it. See how this says major update? Like, I've got this. This Sanctuary of Saras. Because Haster's the one that mentioned this to me. We'll get there later. Maybe. Alright, the Owl patch collection. So we have Owl Patchorama 104. From what I remember, these ones weren't as bad as some of those other patches that we've been doing. We basically just want the let's see, Jace's craft only needs to be unticked. We want the Owl lore weapon expansion. Nothing else on this main page. We want really nothing here. Heavy armory, new weapons. Select nothing. You have to untick these things. Otherwise, you'll have a bad time. Make sure nothing's ticked here. Dawnguard Arsenal also needs to be unticked. And install. So what's this adding? Lure weapon expansion and MLU. Okay. Then we have the open world loot 2.x patches version 1.3. Okay. Right here. First main file. And again, it's another, wow, daunting foam mod. Look at this. This is one of the downsides to installing this. These foam, you really have to pay attention with these. Like, I'm happy for some of the tools we have that will, like, you know, the one allows us to remember what you chose. But, you know, I feel like now we should, if you have the patch installed, it should auto recognize it and auto tick it. That should be how it is by default. It would just make things so much easier to untick it as opposed to just, you know, because then we can install like full patch hubs and just sort of go. Let's see here. Well, this is only the one page. So we have the main. Obviously, we can't do anything with that. No special requirements. So for this armor clothing extension, a Midian-born content add-on, we've got CACO, Dawnguard Arsenal, faction crossbows, heavy armory, and a Midian-born content add-on patch. Then we have the heavy armory rare curios patch, which is down here. Then Heritage 2, lock-related loot, the rare curios bolts expanded, immersive creatures, silver arrows, WACCF, and Loremonger's Armory Loremonger Edition. Wow. Way too much talking. Patches that require CCOR. We've got Bandolier, Cloaks of Skyrim, Jace's Swords, Winter is Coming. Nothing for the bottom two, and you can hit install for open world loots. That should take care. I was going to say, yeah, it takes care of all but one. And what do we need for MLU, huh? What's it missing? The open world loot coin ESP, which I believe is later on. Might be in here. Little ebony maces, patches, and Xedit scripts, version 2.5. This gets updated often as well. 255, yeah. What the patches? $250. There it is. Right? Yep. Fomod installer. Okay. Always by the version. Patches and Xedit scripts. I like to change the name of this one. So you got a README. And we have, open that up a little bit. Unofficial patch, choose nothing. Enhanced lights and effects for WACCF, choose nothing. Untick that. Nothing for NARC. Nothing for AOS. You can't. Untick USSEP. Untick both of these for the dual patch. Untick RDO and guard dialogue overhaul for the choice is yours. You can't tick anything for that, so just keep going. There it is. Open world loot and the coin patch. That's what we're looking for here. Nothing for either of reliquary and lightweight economy overhaul. For this one, you're going to have to untick radiant requirements. Miss College of Winterhold. I think they had this. This is a holdover. Select nothing here. Make sure this is like this. And then your last page, you have what? Let's go over here. Fixes. Choice is yours. Untick this. Buy and sell torches fixes. Don't install. Tweaks. Select nothing. Actually, they bypass this entirely, which you can't do anything anyway, but tweaks. Select nothing. Make sure nothing's ticked. Remove those config spells. Wildcat is ticked. You want that unticked. Select nothing. For the torch crafting icon fix, for the inventory interface information injector, campfire and complete crafting need to be ticked, and that is all you've got. You can install that. So it looks like we got a few here. So that'll take care of the coin missing master for this, or it should. Yep. And it got me down to where we have no missing masters now. We do have stuff in the overwrite. All right. Now we need to navigate to, let's see here, SKSE, plugins, inventory injector, and rename the campfire JSON file to what? Campfire 2 JSON? Okay. Simple enough. With stuff like that, I also like to check it in Explorer. Okay, just to make sure it took. And then we have MISC compatibility patch section. How far are we? Yep. A few more. All right, alternate perspective, assorted fixes and patches. So we want the FOMOD 1.2 main file. 1.3. There's version 1.2. We want the fixes, and all three of these, install them. Cool. For Atlas map marker patches beta 0.57 main file. Right there. Download. Atlas map markers is a mod that I have a love-hate relationship with. I love the extra markers. I dislike, I can't say that I hate, but I dislike the radius that you have to be within one of the markers to actually have it show up. Meaning, like, I showed this off last year with this mod. You have to literally be on top of Bellathor's door, walking inside for it to even proc off. Right? Not that you're going to fast travel right to Bellathor's shop. You would just fast travel to Whiterun. Right? Trying to go further into the city is just dumb, but it does give you a little bit of experience. They're not meant to be fast traveled to. Actually, it's recommended never to fast travel inside a city. You should really fast travel outside the city and go inside, but I digress. All right, for Atlas, Skyhaven Courtyard fix. Atlas Overhaul, patches fix. Anniversary Edition, none. Okay, next page. Looks like we got a few more. Interesting NPC. All right, so this is mods A through M. This is similar to what we did before. We'll go N to Z, of course. 3D NPCs, Artifacts of Boethia. We have Ori. Books of Skyrim. Atlas Map Markers patch, yep. Completionist Fishing Markers, yep. Daedric Shrines. ETAC Dawnstar, right there. Better ticket. Falscar. GG's Thieves Guild headquarters. Then Helgen Reborn. Immersive Dawnguard Dayspring patch. This is the one that moves Dayspring Canyon to the border, I believe, for Atlas map markers, because we've got the borders fixed. Immersive Hold, yeah, which is the next mod. Immersive Hold borders fixed. Improved follower dialogue Lydia. We have Inigo, JK's Solitude Outskirts. Khajiit will follow. We have Konarik's Accoutrements. That's a misspell. It's a typo. Legacy of the Dragonborn, Lucian, Lustward Vampire armor, and Moon and Star. And we've got N to Z. I like to keep this as small as possible. Nordic Wanderer, Oblivion Artifacts, Obscures College, Ordinator, Quaint Raven Rock, Relic Hunter Remiel, Remy, Saints and Seducers. We have Solitude Docks updated, Teldrin Sirius, The Flying Knight, The Forgotten City, The Grey Cowl of Nocturnal 10th Anniversary, Great Town of Shores Stone. Yeah, I could absolutely use some tweaks, but yeah, it is a good mod. Although by the time I'm usually done with my games, you can't even really see the nice map. It's just nothing but markers because of how much stuff is in there. I feel like they can reduce some of the stupid markers. Like when you're in town, just like maybe like the town square for like Whiterun, instead of each individual shop, Dragon's Reach, and maybe the Hall of the Dead. Maybe the barracks. Do you know what I mean? Just an example. Let's see. Great Town of Shorestone. Tools of Kagernak. Unique Border Gates fixes. Windhelm Lighthouse new. WTT and Worm's Tooth. Awesome. For Allison 3D location fix. None. Konarik's install patch. You want to untick that. Nothing and nothing. Next page. Install changelog. Nothing. And thank you. Don't even need to tick it. Install. Do these actually give you... I was gonna say they're all any files. Okay. Thank God. Alright, so better vampires, animations, and your deck patches. We want zip version 120 main file. Oh, I see what you're doing. So we're doing this. And what's the other file? The dynamic activation key patch zip. Not the Oblivion interaction icon patch. Okay. And just pull them over. I haven't installed this yet, so. There's the one. They're named what they are. They is what they is. And the Better Vampires unofficial patch hub. Nice. Good to see somebody taking it upon themselves to patch up Better. Better Vampires is fantastic, by the way. Have I mentioned that? Best vampire overhaul for Skyrim on Nexus. Period. There is no equal. It is the GOAT. It always has been. Other vampire overhauls can't hold its jockstrap up. And I'm not biased. Not one bit. All right. What do we got? Unofficial patches. The unofficial patch and Lord's unofficial patch. And CACO for both of them. ISC. No Simon Rim patches. Get the hell out of here. Select nothing. We don't use Simon Rim. Cathedral Armory MISC patches 2.5. Right there. What do we have here? We have, for patches, Weapons, Armor, Clothing, Clutter, and the Amidian-born Content add-on. None for Animated Armory. For the unisex Nord male, armor is going to be none, 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 and none. Just make sure it's not ticking anything. Same for the female, right? None, 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 and none. And you can install that. Beautiful. Just the Amidian-born content add-on. Casnissa's Little Patch Emporium 2.2. Main file. Page 1. So for interesting NPCs, we want all three options, right? We're not taking anything except for others. Yet another Soul Trap Manager and GDO Redux. Make sure everything else in between is unticked. Go to the next page. Let me minimize some of this. Brambleberry and Eric, welcome in, you guys. We're finishing up some of the patch emporiums today. And for anybody else who may be lurking, enjoy. We love our lurkers here. Hiding out in the shadows with your pants off. For audio overhaul, we want everything. 1, 2, 3, all 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And everything else for immersive sounds distribution. That's it. We have everything installed. What are we missing? So QW is Quinn's, which we're going to get later on. So we're back to having one missing master. Alright, the keyword patch collection version 1. These shouldn't be plugins. I believe these are just any settings. These usually aren't too bad. Okay. Cooking category improvements. For mod patches, we want lore-friendly ghosts, Sunhelm, and the unofficial patch. Nothing for NSFW, because this is a safe for work version. And nothing on the next page, install. And I'm just, yeah, these are all innies. And then we've got the College, Miss College of Winterhold tweaks, version 151. This hasn't been updated in 6 years. Probably should get on that. Oh, it's an obscure mod. Obscure is sort of like not modding anymore. So I guess if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Got the pants police over here. Yeah, we do. Oh, look at this. Stop right there, criminal scum. Alright, what are we doing here? Arniel's appeals, yes. The Augur's admonishment, none. A college coup. We want that. We want Obscure's college add-on. Immersive college NPCs, interesting NPCs. Yep. Dead Dunmer delivery, yes. Mage Light maintenance, no. Governable grave gatekeeper. Yes. Expedite the expert. Yep. Unflappable faculty. Friendly Feralda. What else do we have here? Wizard's Walk. Select nothing for scheduled Savos. Erratum is none. The early Elementalist, select none. Inescapable Insights, we want the merged version. Nothing for the README, of course. And install. No to the BSA, right? That would be unfortunate. And I believe that's going to actually... Yeah, it's going to give me more plugins. The Winterhold stuff with Obscure is largely feature complete. I don't know what more he can... Oh, yeah. Like, Obscure's college is done. It's fine. It works perfectly fine. You'll occasionally have, like, a crash going into, like, one of the halls. But it's typically caused by the lighting mod, not by the mod itself. If you run with no lighting overhaul in your game at all, with Obscures, you're fine. You shouldn't have any issues. And I run it religiously with either ELFX, Lux, or what the hell was the name of the one I was running? It was a standard, like a simple plugin. I can't remember the name of it now. All right, what do we got? Navigator NavMesh Patch Collection, 104. 104. Forgot about Navigator. This isn't too bad. Patches for Another Red Belly Mine, Helgen Reborn, Immersive Citizens, Khajiit Will Follow, Legacy of the Dragonborn, Teldrin Sirius, Tools of Kagranek. Then we got Riften, the JK and Barb, and Elgrim's Elixirs. Skyrim Sewers, JK Palace of the Kings fix. Yep. And we have a Navigator. What's this one? LOTD patch, of course. All the legacy patches need freaking cleaning. Why is that? Even people that don't work on it. Navigator, eh. So just run it through your quick clean. Works perfect with relighting. Jeez, what's the name of that lighting mod that I was using? I couldn't even tell you. It's been so long. All right, 2 ITMs. Thaumaturgy and Heavy Armory patch, 1.3 by Sekhmet. This is just be the one. Yep. This spells out his name, by the way. With the first letter of each. I forget what that thing's called if you take the first letter of each. 171. Yep. Alright, nav mesh combos, none. Misk patches. This is going to be interesting. Skyrim is luminous. Ah, that's it, James. Thank you. Yeah, I like that mod. I really pushed hard to get Skyrim is luminous, but they said it was going to be too much patching. Basically meaning, like, it would wind up being like ELFX, except it looks better than ELFX. But since nobody wants to create it, it sort of got scrapped. And I know nothing about lighting mods as far as like creating them. Otherwise, I would have taken that up, but it is what it is. All right, Misk patches, interesting NPCs and Moon and Stars, Obscures College and 3D NPCs, yes. SFCO Morloot Misk gets unticked. Windhelm docks. 3D NPCs gets unticked. Better Telmithra and ELFX, which is above that for some reason. And Khajiit will follow Royal Armory. Nothing for the Creation Club. Make sure you untick those two. I really feel after these patch ups they should have a dummy check to make sure they go back, but they don't. 3 on here we've got for immersion patches. Forgotten City, Khajiit will follow, and Lucian. That is it. Install. Okay. This is Quinn's. This also hasn't been updated, but we're only going to get this, I think, for Sophia and like one other one. It's been on version 2.5.0 since 2019. So this used to be like the big patch before like patch hubs were even a thing. Quinn had this out, and yeah, this was the go-to back in the day. So we're going to be unticking a lot of these things. Patches for the unofficial patch. All except for Sophia. We need her. So you can untick these. Right. So Sophia and USSCP. Cutting room floor. Thankfully we don't use it. Weapons, armor, clothing, clutter. And audio overhaul. Untick this. We need patch for WACCF 101 and ISC 22. We need this middle one. We do not need these two. Next page. Select nothing. Untick those two. Select nothing. Nothing can be ticked. Nothing for Ars Metallica. Nothing for 3D trees. Other complete alchemy and cooking overhaul patches. We need these bottom two. CACO and interesting NPCs 342 and 203, and RDO. We do not need this top one. And what is this last one here? Oh boy. Just Sophia. We don't want ordinary women. We don't want Wicco. People leave this one in, and this is, I believe, what's causing a lot of face gen issues because it's changing the plugin. We want Sophia 251 for NPC replacers and follower patches. So she gets one for GDO and RDO. That's it. Then we can come back up. And deadly spell impacts. Untick these 3. We're not using this. And install. And that should give us our Quinn's patch, and that should get us back to not having a missing master. There we go. See? Back to 1. And it's just stuff in my overwrite. Cool. Woozy-moo. Helpful and tiny what? Patches. That's hysterical. Mandragora Spouts Hersine version 1 for Moon and Star. Moon and Star, Mandragora Sports, Mandragora Sprouts Hersine. Yep. Okay. We've got follower compatibility patches. I've still never used Sophia. I might use her in this play, James. I don't know. I'm still thinking about it. She's. I hope they've nerfed her OP-ness, as in the letters OP, NESS. She most certainly does not have a penis. but she tends to be overpowered, so. Yeah, like I said, I was in the middle of doing the Civil War on the Empire side with one of my characters, and one of the Stormcloaks aggroed her. They must have hit her with a stray arrow or bolt or something. And she just absolutely wrecked all the Stormcloaks that were trying to breach the gate. She just went to town on them, and she was wearing her underwear. It was quite amusing. Okay. She is a classic, yep. Yeah, classic something or other. What do we got? Immersive hold borders, improved forward dialogue, Lydia patch. So this is by Kesnissa. Optional IFD alternative patch. Let's see. That's right here. Yeah, because it's the alternative. Cool. Then we've got SDA Patch Hub 296. What's the other file? Optional. Let's run for Lydia patch, the IFD patch test. This one here. Alright, let's get the main file here, the patch hub. Let's rename it. Introduction. We do not need an introduction. None for animation frameworks. What do we got here? Gameplay. We want Campfire. Crimson Blood. None. Lustmord is going to be the base version. So Serrano is going to start with the base version. IFD Lydia. Weird. Because that's the next patch, unless it's an update. Ah, yeah, the main file. Delete the file. Okay, because you need the main file in order to download the other one. Got it. And then let me just close this down. For mods, we've got Nether's Framework, RDO, and Remiel. Feature preference patches, nothing, and none for this. Beautiful. Body slide of... I guess that's supposed to be NA. I'm gonna... Okay, I'm assuming that's it. If you needed to tick one only, it would be BHUMP, even though we're not using it, but thankfully there's a third option there. There's nothing there. Thank you, and install. Okay. Yo. Vectile. Yo, today's the, raid day. How you guys doing? Jeez. What's up, Ease? What's up, Vec? How's it going? Were you playing or modding? You're usually playing Skyrim. I don't really see you modding too much. You usually take care of that, off stream. We're still doing. We're on the patch section, which is its own page, which is kind of crazy. Well, since we got the removal tool, we may as well. Let's fucking use it, right? Instead of that, let's go to your removal tool, pop her plugin in, remove it, close it, Go back and check your log. Or you could go to optional ESPs because it's the same freaking thing. But this is the SDA Lydia speech patch. So it's going to add that back in for you. Why they have you choose the one before you can get the other one, I have no idea. Stax Murphy, welcome in. Going from strength to strength, Skyrim to more Skyrim, just a different kind, yeah. Go Good was playing, yeah, Vortex is slow and painful. You're using Vortex? Wow. I'm over here shaking my head. Vortex is slow and painful. It always has been, it always will be. It does not handle Skyrim nearly as well as MO2. It never will, no matter how much they work on it. It's why they ditched the Nexus Mods app, and they're trying to like put all this effort into Vortex. You realize that's one of the reasons why. It's like they were going to be basically giving everybody a copy. More things were going to be integrated in, but it was going to be a Vortex interface. Slow and stupid. For every other game that it handles, sure, that's what it's meant for, but not for Bethesda games. If there's a mod organizer that handles a Bethesda title, that's what you want. He likes it rough, huh? Yeah. I mean, like, I mentioned this before, probably several times. I taught myself Vortex, and it was one of the most painful things. For the people that love it, bless your heart, is all I can say to you. And I mean that as if I was living in Texas. If you have to look up what that is, look up what that is. It's it's rough. Are you FF rough? Alright, what are we doing here? One ITM, really? What's with these authors leaving freaking identical to master plugins on all of their mods? Alright. What's this? SDA, Nethers. Let's just use the filter for this, right? There it is. One ITM. There should be no ITMs. There should be no undeleted references. There should be no nav issues. Your mod should be clean. Sloppy modding when I see this. This is what this is. Sloppy modding. Sophia. I think we are going to use Sophia as just sort of like a gag. I'm going to make her work, though. I don't know when I'm going to pick her up. At your own pace, huh? War Turtle puts out a bunch of solid mods and patch. He also did the tutorial videos that you see in the guide. I say they're still relevant. People are saying, yeah, but they're so old. Yeah, but they're still relevant. So he'll be getting a whole different kiss. I'm not. Yeah, that's not going to be me. No, that'll never be me. You couldn't pay me to use Vortex. Nexus themselves couldn't say, hey, we'll PayPal you X amount of dollars per month to use Vortex. I'd be like, no, I don't need your money. I'm not going to, like, have that on any of my streams. Ever. Go pound sand. I don't care how much money it is. I don't need money. Good. I have my own money. Yeah, not $100 US. Nope. Not for 10,000 US. Sorry. And people would be like, yeah, you'd be stupid not to take the money. No. No. No, I wouldn't. Because then I have to go to explain to all the people that would eventually give me shit. Why were you taking the money to use Vortex? Yeah, I'm not going to do it. Why would I use an inferior mod manager? That would be like me playing Skyrim with the controller. I hope nobody's feelings were hurt with that. James. Oh, for 2077. Yeah, that's what I mean. For all the other games that it supports, that's what it's good for, because it supports all those titles. I'm saying specifically for Bethesda games. I don't care if you guys like use Vortex for like Marvel or some shit. But when I see people like playing Skyrim with it and then they have issues and they come into like Gamer Poets or somebody else's server and they need help, it's like my first thing is like, what mod manager are you using? And they say Vortex. I'm like, ditch it, get MO2. 70% of the time that'll fix things for them. Those are fighting words, yes. Yes. I like to fight. What can I tell you? Do we clean Sophia? She's a dirty girl anyway. We like her dirty. That one, we got the at your own pace patch. All right. Form list stuff. That's what we're doing. Yeah, this is all going to be archived over on my YouTube for people that want a, I guess, up-to-date version of Lexy's install. Although since I do it live, you get the color commentary. So if you're listening over on YouTube in the future, I'm not apologizing for things that were said here. You've been warned, and we're not wearing pants. All right, version 3.3.0. This one hasn't been updated either, but that's okay. So these are pretty straightforward. Just what they have listed. So, base form list innies, right? For the base plugin, we want unofficial patch defaults, which is what it's at. Optional tweaks show mod specific patches. All right, so page 1 is good. Page 2, we want various vanilla items for more child gifts. That needs to be ticked. Nothing for the remaining categories. If anything is ticked on your end, untick it. Go by what the guide says. And for mod patches, we want CC Saints and Seducers. We want CC Survival Mode. For the mod formlist patches, Campfire, the combat music fix, Papyrus, CACO. We want immersive interactions, yes. Keep it clean, Legacy of the Dragonborn. Shovels, Berry, Bodies. Where are you? Right there. Tick it. It needs to be ticked. Sunhelm, yes. USSEP, yes. And then mod ESP patches for CACO only. Mod options, if anything's... because we switched over to alt perspective. So I guess this is a holdover from when we were still using alt start last year. It shouldn't... None of these should be ticked. If they are, untick them. And you're good. These are just your form list innies, I believe. Right? Yep. Just your ini files. And the Caco patch. And the collection ITM, okay. What's up, Nukinist? Skyrim is fine on controller. Not a competitive game. Skill is not... Well, there's no skill in using mouse and keyboard. There's no skill in using controller. It's just... Controller, your hands are gonna fucking cramp from the way you're holding it. Especially those Xbox controllers. Right? Mouse and keyboard, as long as you've got, like, a rest, which every modern keyboard has, not those stupid little half keyboards that I see everybody using, right? A regular keyboard has a proper rest for your wrist. You'll develop carpal tunnel a lot less sooner using a mouse and keyboard. The only other excuse I've ever heard people say is, I'm just not good at it. And my only advice to you is just practice. Bethesda games are not hard to learn, and it's way more accurate. We're modding. Ligma. Nice. I'm doing an install, which I'm archiving over on my YouTube for users of Lexy's guide. The little... Oh, I guess that's not there anymore because OBS crapped out on me. I should probably put it back. I had it linked. So this is the link to her guide. Let me pin that. Yeah, I had this pinned earlier. Sorry about that. Once this stream went down because of OBS shitting the bricks for the millionth time on me. Yeah. So there we go. So I'm doing the install. I'm actually more paying attention to what I'm doing than what you guys are talking about. But I am checking chat on my phone, so there's that. Okay. Form list is complete. We've got the Immersive Interactions Missives World Space Edition form list. So Other Worlds version 1 should be the main file. Yes. These are nice because these are pretty much just straightforward. Legacies, Craft Loot, Sort, Storage, 201. Yep. This does have a little foam on here, a couple pages. They're not too bad. For requirements, both FLM and Legacy, of course, you need it. All three for unofficial or third-party content, make sure that is ticked. You want everything on the first page ticked. For your Creation Club, Fishing, Curios, SNS, and Survival Mode. Just the freebies that come with it. We don't get that AE bullshit. This is where you're going to want to pay attention. So it should auto-ticket by default. You're going to match these up. So Ethereum, Armors and Weapons Comp. We have CACO, CCOR. We have Falscar, we have Immersive Armors, we have Inigo, we have 3D NPCs, we have Khajiit Will Follow, we have Konarix, we've got Moon and Star and Moonpath, we have the Oblivion Artifact Pack, we have Remiel, we've got Ori, Song of the Green, Teldrin Sirius, The Forgotten City, Grey Cowl, Tools of Kagranek, Worm's Tooth and Zelzaz. Okay. Last page. This is the unofficial patches. Just what they have here. 1, 2, 3. There's 5 of them. So Draugr upgrades, Dynamic Things Alternative, Lux Via, Ordinator, and Skyrim Immersive Creatures Special Edition. Now, it looks like everything on this one's good to go. I don't think there's plugins with that, but yeah. Just Controller Son or Vortex Daughter? Oh boy. How about neither? Neither's good. Hi, Magus. I'm a distracting message. Yay! Thank you, Ace. Welcome. This green tea is almost done. So, Mine Ore Formless Patches for Mod Pickaxes, version 1.5, FLM. Should be the main file. It is. Do you have a faux mod? Yes, you do. Form list manipulator. We got Dragonborn, and for Stalrim patches, yes. Mod patches, just Legacy of the Dragonborn, nothing else. And we want Skyrim Special Edition and Legacy of the Dragonborn. You can install that. You are good to go. More plantable plants for the CC version 2. Main file. Download. We want Rare Curios and Saints and Seducers. Yep. And the 1K. Do not extract the BSA. It does not say we need to do so. There are your plugins. Non-native bugs for Legacy version 1.2. Obviously CACO, Saints and Seducers, and Worm's Tooth. Those three. Nothing else. Install. See, these are pretty straightforward. You just match them up with what the guide has, and you'll have a good day. Wood chopping formless patches, version 1.5. Really? So formless manipulator, and what's the other one? Just campfire and legacy. You're good. Simple stuff here. Worm's Tooth, plantable plants, version 1. Should be the only file. It is. Download. Okay. Then we have our UI overhauls. So they are still currently on Dear Diary Dark, but I believe there's the Dragon Skin overhaul, which is eventually coming with one of the updates. I'm not sure which one. I believe some of the stuff has been implemented already. Not work, version 201. What does this do? I don't think this was in the last one that I used. Oh, okay. That's cool. What version? 201? Main file? There we go. Anything else? Nope. Not work. Cool. Easy Wheel, something I don't use. 1.5a and the optional SSE patch 1.5a. So 1.5 download. And optional patch only 1.5a right here. These get installed as separate mods, obviously. For Easy Wheel, let's see, what do they want us to install with this? For first time installation, core handlers you can't do anything about, you need it, and one for Sophia. Nothing for the last one. Okay. Just scripts, okay. Then the main one, Dear Diary Dark, and then you want the hot fix for Frostfall and Last Seed bars. So, and this is the warm text, the warm color. So it's the top file, and then the hot fix. We're also going to use our removal tool for these, because those do not get used. And we're going to have to merge this with this, so make sure you are paying attention with your DDM, DDDM. So let's go to next. We're basically going to say yes to most things here. Mod configuration, yes. Install map, yes. Inventory, 16 by 9, yes. Yes, we want the extended for the favorites, because why wouldn't you? Book menu, yes. Lock picking, of course. Yes, we want extended UI. This is important. The level up menu replacer, yes. Sleep wait, of course. Message box, yes. Tutorial menu, yes. Training menu, yes. Tabs, yes. Loading menu, no. We want the cleaned main menu frames replacer. We do not want the background replacer. We have our own. Well, I'm going to be making my own. Lexy has hers already installed, but I make my own. In fact, I don't think I've used a Lexy main menu for any of my Lexy plays. I've always made a main menu replacer. Alright, for HUD, yes. Oblivion-like, leave that empty. And no for CNO, compass navigation. We do not want that. Install dialog menu. No, that puts that to the side with those stupid numbers that can only go to 9. And of course, there's always more dialogue options, and it just looks like a mess. Just stick with this. Those numbers look ridiculous. Until they figure out a way to add like more numbers than 9. No, thank you. And I don't like it being on the left side of the screen. Dumb. Quick loot. No. Quick loot is junk. The character sheet. No. I do like the character sheet. Yes to easy wheel. Replace the cursor. No, there's already a cursor. Although if you wanted the animated, I can't fault you. It's my favorite. Next to the red quill, of course, from the original. And for map and compass markers, both map and compass, co-map. What else do we have here? Replace the font. Of course not. We have a font replacer. New UI sounds? No thank you. We have UI sounds that work quite well for us. Console improvements. We want the 60 FPS, more informative console, and load spinner removal. Yes. Finished. Make sure this is installed. Then you're going to merge the... It's just an interface for the widgets. You need this. So merge that in. Okay. Let's go to our MO2 removal tool. These get removed. And just check your log to make sure that they are the same ones, which of course they are. And then the not work DDDM patch 1.2. Warm. Okay. Then we have Lexy's Dear Diary Dark Mode config file, version 103. This is in her optionals. Out of these 57, we're going to go to optionals. Dear Diary Dark Mode config file 103. There you go. There it is. Beautiful. And dialogue history, Dear Diary Dark Mode patch, version 1. It's now in old files. A lot of things have been getting updated recently. And then here, oh yeah, we did up this. Oh, so Dragonborn reskin loading menu overhaul, version 1. Main file. Anything else? No. Okay. So at the bottom, centered. Gold. I kind of like the blue better. Oh, we're sticking with gold because the guide says gold, but... Sky UI active effects. Default. I hate when they have two versions and they're both version 1. Oh, it's annoying. So annoying. And then we've got the reskin for Sunhelm. V2. Sunhelm icons V2 color. Right here. Vibrant map markers 1-1. Really? What we got? So this is the Sky HUD patch. Vibrant map markers for Comap 4. 2-2. VMM Comap 4. 2, huh? Required core and then Tailor marker is default. We want Sky HUD ticked and nothing for Divine Elegance. We're good. Alright. Sort of coming to the end here with our utilities. Notification log SSCNG version 1.4. They've got Papyrus Util, Modders, Scripting, Utility Functions 4.6. They're all 4.6. Top file. This is an important one. Because this overwrites a bunch of things like Campfire, I think, Simply Knock. Yep. Yeah, those two. And J containers. Wow. Where did they get this off? GitHub? So stupid. The one on Nexus works fine. I don't know what's up with this one, but... And shovels bury by. This is a fun mod. I kind of wish it put a little, like, mini cairn for them. Or at least a little dirt mound. It just... They disappear. That should be something that gets worked into this, but it probably never will. Yeah, they just disappear. You go through the motion of it, but that's it. And then we have EEOS version 2002. Main file. This has a little foam on here. With an introduction, right? Wow. A lot of stuff in here. What do we got? Vanilla plugins, both of these. Potions and shouts for NPCs. Plugin add-ons. We want Andromeda, Apocalypse, and Odin. Nothing for vampires, nothing for werewolves. Don't select anything. Nothing for the optional. Last words and install. So with this one, there's some any editing required. So Apocalypse spells for NPCs needs to be tweaked. So if you open, actually I could probably, yeah. Open and explore. Let's see, Apocalypse spells for NPCs. Can I edit with Notepad? This will be a little bit better. So we want... I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to paste that in to search for it. Okay, it's line 92. So if you look here, spell, Apocalypse, Magic of Skyrim, these will all add up. So it's Control F, do your search, right? Add a semicolon in front of spell. That's all you're doing, right? Cool. So next, we need to locate this. So you copy the whole thing. Same thing, just Control F, clear out what's in there. You can paste that in. Oh, did I do that wrong? I must have. Oh, because it's probably in another one. Let's do this. Let me try this. Or is it the same one? Nope, hold on. Let me try something here. File, let me save this. Let me close this down. Let's reopen it and then there it is. So we want spell. Let's just try and find this. Right there. I don't know why I wasn't taking the full line. 126, right? So 12 CB8D Apocalypse. So this whole thing, we need to replace it with this. I might have had an extra line at the most of it, so what we're going to do for line 26, you can delete it and then paste in your new one. There it is. File and save. It's not as daunting as you think. Just make sure you take your time. I don't know what I did to I must have had an extra space there or something like that. Save and exit when you're done, which I've done. These can close out. And then these are, I believe, the last of it almost. We are on, yeah, the consistency patches and the conflict resolution. Let me see what my uptime is here. 1 hour and 23 on this one. Have you chosen a character for this run yet? I have, yeah. You're selecting a space at the beginning. Thank you. Yep. I'm just seeing the chat now. Double A, appreciate it. Thank you. And Eric, you're on a 30 stream streak. Wow, you're up there too, buddy. Appreciate that. See, it's not showing on here. Look at this. I think it was showing and now it's not. It's showing on my phone. I could see that. That's awesome. I've got a character. I've got stuff written out for him already. I used a little bit of ChatGPT. Although I have to really teach ChatGPT the lore because it really doesn't get a lot of stuff right. But once you teach it, it learns, and it won't get it wrong the next time. Alright, so Lexy's Legacy Consistency Patches, version 2.15. This is a main file here. Legacy Consistency Patches, 2.15, right here. There are all of Lexy's consistency patches that have been done. You guys don't realize how much goes into this. That's just the one file, by the way. Right. Legacy shipping crates. This is the consistency patch, 102. This is an optional. What's it called again? LOTD shipping crates. $102 right here. Yeah, once you get towards the end, you really want to start taking your time. If you've been rushing through it, like we're only 1390, but like we're well over. Obviously, we're at 281 ESM and ESPs, but so we're gonna have to use the ESLifier for this, but not until we get closer. So, weapons, armor, merge, consistency, 202. Right here. Then we've got the Twilight Princess armor consistency, 101. Right there. MISC merge consistency. This is in the miscellaneous on a different page, I think, 102. Yep. Miscellaneous merge consistency 102. Yep, right here. We got the SFCO consistency patch 104. Right here. RS Children consistency 101. Right here. Hey, Soryuto. So I love that both Lexy and JSerpa have small patch hubs for some mods, and that you can use some of them for your own list. So I have a few of hers and a bunch of J's in my. Yeah, I think J's is like the number one. Like, let me just check this out. If you go to Skyrim and you come down to like mods and you filter by like popular all time. Hold on. Let's go to view all. I think you could change this. So if you go to downloads. Yeah, his is like up there. His small mods resources mostly for Gate to Sovngarde. Like look at everything it's passed. It's passed race menu. It's like for CBBE. Like these are things that people use. It's past the static mesh mod. Past ordinator. I mean, I get it. There's a bunch of patches on here, but Cryptopeers is number one. Look at this. Cryptopeers just passed 30 million. Well in front of that, and then Engine Fix is actually gonna overtake the unofficial patch due to people's hatred of Arthmore. That's crazy. I remember when this was number one for a while, but ever since Cryptopeer basically took off all the individual patches and did the foam mod, downloads like went right through the roof. So good on them. Yeah, goated, right? Okay. We have SS Studio. We have we have Zims. 101. Cool. All right. Consistency patches are done. Conflict resolution. This is the bottom of this section. Thank God. I think this is where I'm going to probably end it after I do this section. Sorry, I'm just checking messages because it's 20 after 9 for me. I only have so much time because I have to be up stupid early in the morning. I was going to do some Tainted Grail, but I want to finish the section. Alright, these are also straightforward. There's only one of each, so Lexy's Legacy, this is the main conflict resolution, version 218. Right here. Then we got the Atlas map markers conflict res 103. Top file here. I always close that out anyway. Then Dawnstar City Overhauls, conflict res 102. These are all main files now. Right here. Then you have the ELFX conflict res 102. Right here. I should probably start activating some of these. ELFX. Then the Lux conflict res 207. Right here. See, these are nice for me because they're new files. Because I don't use every version. Or I should say every update. I typically, I'll do a Lexy's play like once a year. I'll get a couple months out of it. Depending on how the character goes, if the character is super fun, I'll do as much as I can. I really try to 100%. Like, I would like to 100% with this next character because there's so much content in this. I'm just not a fan of Legacy version 6. I really wish they stopped at 5 and finished whatever they were doing and just left it alone. Version 6 has some bugs, for sure. Mark Art City Overhauls, Conflict version 1. Markarth. Yep. And then we got the Minor Towns and Cities, 105. Minor Towns and Cities, 105, yep, right there. There's supposed to be an N at the end of that? There was no N. Alright. Well, there is now. Oh, MO2's gonna shit the bricks on me. Gotta love when it does that, right? We drop any frames? No, we didn't drop any frames. Let me snooze these ads we got coming in. Yeah, love the secret passageway. Same here, buddy. Same here. Yeah, once you get so far with all these freaking plugins, it's just like, no. MO2 is like, fuck you, dude. Alright, Minor Town. We have Morthal, 103. These are just a matter of finding them. Taking your time. So yeah, they're showing wrong versions, but that's not right. Because the main page has its own thing, so. Riften City Overhauls, 104. Right there. We have Solitude 208. Solitude here. This is a new one, 208. Yep, beautiful. What's the next one? Solstheim? Yep, Solstheim 1. Right here. Then the Courier Overhauls. Version was that one? Yeah. Whiterun 108. I could probably just stay on this now. Yeah, Whiterun. Windhelm 101. Winterhold 103. Okay, those are the last ones. We got Whiterun City Overhaul. We have Windhelm City Overhauls. And Winterhold. Yeah, it's a pretty sizable list as far as plugins and things like that go. Highly recommended that you perform a backup of the work you've done on this page before continuing. You know what I say to that? Huh? Do you know? I close down MO2 for a sec. Reopen MO2 for a sec. And that's it. We're on to the merges, but we're saving merge. I'm going to save the merges for the weekend. I'm going to do this. I'm going to create a separator because this, to be fair, I'm probably going to have to just brush myself up on the videos. So War Turtle made some videos. If you just click out, you could right click and open this up. Highly recommend these. These aren't very long. They still apply. They were talking about removing them from the guide. If you're a visual learner, these are fantastic. They still apply. They're easy to understand. And we all go back and look at this stuff. Right? I don't do merges on an everyday basis. I only do merges with Lexys. Right? My own setup, I do something a little bit different. I just do consistency patch for myself because I don't need to do merges. She needs to do merges. She has way too many plugins. I've had like 2,500 mods with only 650 plugins, where she's got an extra 1,000 here. So, you know, is what it is. It's all those big patch hubs and things like that really start to just take up a lot of the. So, do I have a set date on the character? Not yet. I want to get some more writing done for the character itself. Uh, but we're looking at next week at some point. Let me snooze these ads because I guess we're not. There's no ads to snooze. Let's see here. Yeah, I mean ESL. We haven't even ESLified everything yet, Sorito. Yeah, we haven't even like we need to ESL because we can't use the creation kit as it stands right now. If we needed to, we probably couldn't use SSE edit. Yeah, because my if you look at my active, yeah, sure, we got a ton of ESLs, but look at the ESM and ESP totals. It's 282. You have to be under 254 to run those, or I believe you have to be at 254. Although I think it's 253 because one is for a save, and so it used to where it used to be like 255 under, so you had to be 254. Now it's 253. So, all right, let's go on a raid. We've raided Ireshot. Oh boy, everybody's just chatting, and that bores me. Let's go find somebody new. Who's new? I see a bunch of people playing. This better be Skyrim, right? First playthrough. I like these. Playing Skyrim for the first time ever? Okay. I know nothing about Soph. 253. Yep. Uh, right? Is that right? Yeah, looks right. I know nothing about this person except that they're playing Skyrim for the first time, and I enjoy watching people suffer. So, uh, I guess we'll be doing the merges this weekend, guys, and hopefully, the character starting next week. I obviously have work Monday and Friday. I have a half day on Thursday. So my streaming days really are going to probably be Tuesdays, Wednesdays, uh, and maybe early Thursday. Yo, Ligma, appreciate the follow. Officially welcome into the shadows. I'm going to have to work on my alerts and stuff like that because they are still not working. So, let's go see Soph. I don't know who she is, but I enjoy Skyrim players. Show them some love, and I will see you all soon. Take care. Peace.